Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TARDIS Zone live. Obviously, I'm live, or I wouldn't be talking to you right now. Wouldn't be joking. Welcome. So, a couple of hours ago, I dropped a video on the information that was received. Before I start this stream, I would like to stress that this is rumor and speculation. Now, the reason why I'm saying that at the start of the video or the stream, and I will be saying this from now on when I do get information, is because last year, obviously, there was a couple of fans on the other side of the fandom that accused me of lying. So, disclaimer, I'm telling you now, right now, that this is rumor and speculation. This is information I have received. Now, if you haven't seen the video, it's all good because I'm about to show it again. So let's share the screen. And we will play this video for you guys, just to give you a reminder of what it's all about. I have to say, I do pick some good music, don't I? One, two. Yep. And that's it. That's the information. So yeah, there's a lot to take in there. Right. So let's start breaking this information down anyway. And let's see what you guys also think in the chat as well. We do have a super chat, and of course, you get a super chat, you have to read it out, sort of thing. I'll read it out anyway. But Jody Hader with a £2 super chat says hashtag she is not the doctor. Well, she won't be after Series 13. If the rumors are to be believed and the information I have received is to be believed, Series 13 will be Chris Chibnall's last, and it will be Jodie Whittaker's last. Now, it kind of does make sense because it normally does be about a 3-year run. Obviously, it'd be longer than 3 years because it's taken Chris Chibnall so long to write series. But 3 series is what they normally do. So that'll be her third series, and it'll be his third. And apparently, the two of them will be going. Also, you have seen there the Captain Jack, obviously, is not only going to feature in the festive special, as the rumors have already suggested. It looks like he's going to become a companion for Series 13. Now, talking about companions, Yasmin Khan will be a part-time companion in the TARDIS, is the news. So for all those shippers out there that have been hoping for a romance between the Doctor and Yasmin Khan, it doesn't look like that's going to happen because she's going to be part-time in the TARDIS, and how could you develop any sort of romantic character arc for the two of them if she's hardly going to be in the TARDIS? Now, two new companions apparently are going to be introduced into the TARDIS. We've got an older woman, and then, as suggested, there's going to be a male character from the 1920s who's going to be representing the LGBTQ plus side of the fandom, which I have no problem about. If this character was actually given some character development, we will have to wait and see on that. That's the problem that I've had under Chris Chibnall. He doesn't give these characters proper character development and kills them off pretty quick. So this new male character is supposed to be gay, and he's going to be in the TARDIS. So there's going to be two. Again, I think he's kind of learned. That's why Yasmin is probably going to be part-time, because he's probably learned his lesson that there are too many people in the TARDIS. I just can't see why he hasn't gotten rid of Manny Gill and just introduced these two new companions. But there you go. That is what is being rumored. So I don't know what you actually think about all of that so far. Let me know in the comments, guys. Because that was the whole point. That's why I threw the video up, to let you digest the news. And let me know what you think. So let's get to the filming part of that anyway. Right, well, because of the current crisis, they might have to change the format. So as you see in yourselves there are options on the table. And the options are on the table is that there will be bank holiday specials, a smaller season, which we did actually say after this crisis if you all remember, Rabbi was on the panel with me. We actually made a suggestion on the panel that might be the case, that we might get a shorter series because of this. It's not rocket science to actually, think that. And it looks like that may be the case now. Because of the whole social distancing thing, they might have to do their own makeup. Hence, there's an idea in the pipeline that they might have 3 point of view episodes from the Doctor's point of view, Yasmin Khan's point of view, and apparently Captain Jack's point of view. Now, again, I will stress, and I'm going to stress this several times during this stream, because you know what happened last year, guys, especially you that have been following me from the start. When I've been given information, it's crazy. I was accused of all sorts of stuff. So I'll be doing this disclaimer every few minutes, just to let you know that this is just rumor and speculation. It is information that I have received, so it's up to you to take it which way you want to take it yourself. I'm not telling you that this is gospel and that you should take this as gospel. It's up to yourself how you interpreted the information. Well, I'm just telling you what I've been told. Now, for anybody that has been following me, I will just tell you guys that this comes from the same source that gave me the information on Spyfall. So anybody knows that has been following me knows what happened to the video that I did on Spyfall. And I also showed you some screenshots as well to prove to everybody that YouTube had removed it on the BBC's behalf. So anybody that has been following me from the beginning knows that when we get information and stuff like that off this source, we sit up and take notice, because there could be something in it. So, but again, I will stress that this is rumor and speculation. Now, new showrunner in place, apparently, after Chris Chibnall leaves, in time for obviously the 60th anniversary. Now, the rumor is that, and we spoke about this a few weeks back. So this ties into the information that I got a few weeks back when I told you that Stephen Moffat, remember I was telling you Stephen Moffat was looking to take over. There was an internal kind of squabble going on. Well, it looks like his production company, the production company that he runs, he wants to co-produce So whether that happens or not, and I don't know how fans would feel if Stephen Moffat was to come back and co-produce, considering stuff that has been said in the fandom lately, especially with this timeless children rubbish and canon. Would you really be able to trust Stephen Moffat now to actually come in and not bow down to the BBC and their agenda? I'm not quite sure, because if you see his last couple of seasons, even though he did try and resist, it still managed to get into his era. So I wouldn't be, I'd be optimistically cautious right now. To be quite honest with you, it's I don't know. I mean, the format change is interesting because we did speak about it on the panel. I like the idea of a shorter season anyway. But apparently this is going to. But here's the kicker, right? If they do the 6 episodes, we're not getting them in 1 year. They're going to break them up. They're going to do 3 in 1 year and 3 in the second year, which means they'll drag this out. And that's the thing I don't like about it, is the fact that they want to drag it out. I'd rather them, to be honest with you, I'd just rather them drop the 6 episodes when they're done, and then it's done. It's done and over with. You know what I mean? This would keep her, yeah. And then I was actually thinking last night, if that does happen, does that make her the longest serving Doctor in New Who then? Even though she hasn't been on the screen, but would that, in the length of time, would that make her the longest serving New Who Doctor? And I think that's what he's trying to do. And then he could say, well, she was the longest Doctor, even though she didn't do what she should be doing. I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat anyway? Well, to be fair, Tennant's last season was a series of specials, wasn't it? Yes. So it is within the realms of possibilities. And, I've been told that there's others out there talking about the schedule and saying that Doctor Who will record on time. I'm sorry, but you can't say that. Nobody can actually say that. Because right now, they were supposed to be filming certain stuff, and certain stuff's coming back. But in England right now, they're getting it so wrong that there's going to be a second spike. There is going to be no filming on time. And even though it's September, listen, they're even talking about bringing the Premier League back in June. That is not happening. That's the reality of the situation. These people don't realise it's not happening. And Doctor Who Series 13 is not going to be filming on time. So if that does happen and it doesn't film on time, well, then the format change is a big possibility, in my opinion. And there is a chance that we could get a shorter season, but over 2 years. Now, as you're seeing in the video as well, so it would be early 20. What did I say? It was early 2021. No, late 2021, early 2022. And then, is that what I said? Hold on, where's the video? I just have to make sure. I just want to make sure now again. You know me, I like to be, especially with these videos, I need to be bang on what I say. So hold on. Where is it? So yeah, it'll be very late 2021, the very early 2022. This means 2023 will see a new Doctor and showrunner up to the 60th. And then apparently then Stephen Moffat's production company wants to co-produce. So it's interesting. The companions, obviously we only know some information, and it's actually interesting that the only information that we've been given is the companion's sexual preference. Which again, you know, as I said, nobody here has a problem with the representation of everybody in Doctor Who. The problem is when it came to the LGBTQ plus community, Chris Chibnall, in my opinion, has not done them justice. He will put a character on, and he will. We've seen it in Resolution. He will kill them off within 20 seconds of being on screen. Oh, hello, I've got a boyfriend. Bang, you're dead. That's not how you know what I mean? If he start, this is why I have a problem, especially under Chris Chibnall. If it was RTD, I'd have no problem whatsoever, because you know that RTD would actually build these characters up. We'd actually have some things in common with the characters, and not only that, we would feel for these characters if anything ever went wrong with them. We'd feel their pain. Chris Chibnall just can't do that with anybody. He can't even do that with the main actress that's playing the bloody Doctor. We can't feel any love towards her or anything. We don't feel sorry for her when she messes up. We're actually delighted when she messes up, and that's got to do with the writing. And Chris Chibnall was hailed as this great character builder because he did things like Broadchurch and stuff. But you see, as I keep saying to everybody, that guy needs someone looking over him, making sure that he's not messing up. So there's interesting information in there anyway. I mean, the one that actually makes me chuckle the most, though, has to be the one about Yasmin Khan. And I do hope that that's true, that Manip Gill is not going to feature as much as people think in Series 13. Because there's a lot of videos, and I found one last night. There's a lot of these videos from these YouTubers, and they've come up with these fan theories about a romance between the Doctor and Yasmin Khan. I'd like to just point out that actually this isn't a fan theory. This is a shipper's theory. These are the shippers in the fandom, right? You talk to any fan out there, whether the Doctor is male or female, or whether the Doctor is attracted to a male or female, whatever the gender, right? Doctor Who fans believe that if the Doctor has a romance with a companion, it kind of ruins the dynamic. It dilutes the relationship between a companion and Doctor. The best example of a companion and Doctor that had no romantic attachment in New Who is obviously Catherine Tate and David Tennant's series, right? You had Donna Noble and the Doctor, and that was a friendship, right? They clearly loved each other, but in a friend's way. They cared very deeply about each other, right? There was none of this romantic thing. It just doesn't work. And I'm being honest, it kind of does belittle the Doctor's previous family. I'm sorry, I don't know what everybody say, but we have the Matt Smith and River song. I never really liked that thread, to be quite honest with you, right? I didn't like that whole marriage between the Doctor and River. I didn't, right? And I think there's a lot of fans out there that don't like that romance element, and I don't. And it's not got to do with the fact that Jodie Whittaker, Doctor, wants to have a romantic attachment to Manip Gill. If the Doctor fell in love with a guy, I'd still be saying the same thing. It doesn't work. Their dynamic gets ruined. You see, look. RTD kind of did this when he did Rose and David Tennant in the second series, and he kind of set it up, you know what I mean? And I thought it was a mistake at the time, and I still do. So it doesn't matter what the gender of the Doctor is or the gender of the person that she's actually fell in love with, right? It doesn't work, right? But if the information is true, and again, I will say it's rumor and speculation, disclaimer, but if this rumor is true, I'm delighted, because then that'll put that to bed, because there's no way he would be able to justify. Now, I'm not saying he wouldn't do it though, but there'd be no way he could justify a romance between the Doctor and Yasmin Khan if she's not in the TARDIS as much, because the other two companions, obviously, if the rumors are to be believed, will be in the TARDIS. Someone said something about, yeah, no hanky panky in the TARDIS. Exactly. Except if you're Rory and Amy, because that happened, as you know. What? Yeah, and that's how we got River. Remember that. Thanks, Cheryl. You reminded me. Yeah, I know. I do like River, the River at the start, but she just, I don't know. There was overkill with River. Overkill. Colin P. Smith says Noel is ghosting Rabbi. What? I haven't been looking at the comments. Well, what's going on?
Really? Someone's gonna accuse you of ghosting someone?
Yeah, I said I was doing these streams on my own anyway. Because you know when I do the rumor and information news, I always do the streams on my own. So you know, I don't know.
Why do we want to stir up shit between people that
I know, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like you know, I think I'm not being smart here, but I think I do a lot for other YouTubers on this channel, and if I want to do a stream on my own, it's not ghosting anybody. I don't know. Right, let's see anyway. Comments. Never got the whole River Song thing at all, says CJ Campbell. I'm right. I agree with you. I you know, she was great at the start. So, first, Silence in the Library and First of the Dead, great episodes, and it did set up future stories. I think Moffat just kind of lost, like he kind of does with some of these characters, kind of lost the run of himself. To be quite honest with you, with River Song. But I will say this: Cheryl's one of Cheryl's favorite River Song episodes is actually the one with Peter Capaldi, isn't it? The Peter Capaldi one.
What about it?
The one where she's on the plane. What's that called again?
I don't know. Use the rest of your words. I need more words.
The one River was only in one episode with Peter Capaldi.
Yeah, the wasn't the wedding.
Well, she wasn't. She was in two, but he didn't recognize in the fourth one.
What, the wedding's a River Song. The wedding's a River Song.
What was that episode called? The one where they're on the planet. He spends the time on the planet with her.
Yeah, wasn't that the wedding a River Song?
I don't know. I have no clue. Probably was.
Husband's a River Song.
Husband's a River Song.
Okay, it's something with River Song.
Yeah, that's the one. Sick of all this sexuality. Should be private. That's the joy of it, says Gary Hewitt. Again, I agree with you. There seems to be a thing in this in TV now where everything has to be sexualized somehow. Even our brother-sister relationship somehow has some sexual tension. If you watch Star Trek Picard, it's a perfect example of that. So, yeah. If I were showrunner, I'd do Una 2.0, Una from the future where space travel is normal, says Internet Gas Leak. Keep sex, gender, and identity politics out, says Problem Being. I agree. It's not the place for that. You can have, as I said, you know, you can create shows based on all of that, but Doctor Who is a sci-fi show. It's not just a sci-fi show, but it's also a family show, and you've got to be aware that there's younger viewers watching. And, you know, the danger is that a lot of younger kids could get confused by the stuff that they're watching on TV. And then then you're getting into the whole realm. Then it's up to parents. As I've always said, anyway, parents should be teaching their kids about all of this and shouldn't be leaving the responsibility to entertainment. And again, I will say to the entertainment industry again, as I said, your job is to entertain, right? We get educated in school, we get educated in college, we get educated by watching educational programs on the TV, whether it's radio as well, internet. We're living in an age of information, right? So it's very easy for us all to go and research, teach our own kids, right? We want to be entertained, as I said, right? Life is hard enough already. We want to be able to sit down for an hour or whatever it is, and whatever we're watching to entertain us, okay? Because we don't need all of that. Yeah, Cheryl always says stuff like that to me. Use the rest of your words. I know.
I'm really into EastEnders right now.
Oh my God.
I don't know why.
Oh, Cheryl's just at the finding the EastEnders now. I'm screwed. It means now I'm going to have to sit here and watch EastEnders again. Gary Lewis says, I found Peter Capaldi's doctor too smug and self-satisfied. The doctor needs to be mysterious again and not a know-it-all. If I was the first doctor, I'd have slapped him silly. I preferred Capaldi's spiky persona, says Problem Being. So did I, to be quite honest. And I was the husbands of River Song. Thank you. How does River Song know all the doctors if the tent didn't know horses, Gary Ewa? That's always been a question that, yeah, that's bothered me as well. There's been a few little things. Yeah, later he became a bit too midlife crisisy. I agree. David Inkley is here. Hi guys. Hi Ravi. I think he's supposed to say Rabbi. Well, hello. So, Mr. Hyde podcast says the 1920s gay character will be happy to see the future because it's more welcome now than then. That's why they're probably doing this. That's a good point, actually. That's a very good point. Well done. I wouldn't have actually thought of that. Well, that is actually, you know what? That's probably it. Knowing Chris Chibnall and his writing team. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if this was written by Ed Heim. I'm just going to throw it out there right now. Right? An episode where he's brought to New Earth, as they say. Yeah. That's a good one. Hey, Noel, Cheryl, and Teddy. Kerry, how are you?
What?
Kerry said hello.
Hi.
Nice to have you here. I know, because she's watching EastEnders, she is. I can't believe you are watching that. I said, I can't believe you're watching that crap. She's smiling now. I'm not watching EastEnders, man. I'd rather gouge my eyes out.
I'm desperate.
I'd rather watch Doctor Who Series 12 again.
Really?
No. I'm only messing. Jesus. Could be. I'd rather watch paint dry. Yeah. So again, with this information, though, it looks like that. It looks like that Chris Chibnall is going to continue down the same path. Listen, Ben, I'm only throwing the information out there. I don't know. As far as I know, and we were told a few weeks back, there's Stephen Moffat apparently wants Doctor Who back. He doesn't like apparently what's going on. Now, if you were to listen to him on Twitter, there's some evidence to suggest that he isn't happy. But then you look at the other evidence where he's come out and basically backed this era. It would suggest otherwise. But in saying that, there is actually evidence to prove that he is taking a swipe at Chibnall. There's been a few tweets that everybody has seen. He's definitely taken a swipe. Even RTD has taken a swipe. And this was another guy that was mentioned, apparently interested in coming back in some capacity, whether it be to co-produce with someone. Apparently Moffat and RTD both want back in. Now, why would Moffat's company co-produce? Well, it makes sense. It would. We'd have more control, because working under the BBC, as you see near the end, he hadn't got that much control. So, and the way it's going now, there could be a possibility that BBC could co-produce with him. It's Stephen Moffat after all. And, they're probably desperate times, desperate measures. As I said, anyway, and I've said 4 or 5 times, and I'll say again, it's obviously I received this information, but we take it with like everything else until we start getting facts. This is rumor and speculation. Glenn Edwards says, I disagree. The BBC can't possibly suggest that things are good for minorities, such as gay men. That goes against their whole agenda that white men, bad, and other things are better, and we are making progress. Well, Ben, as I've said again, don't shoot the messenger. If you don't want, as I said, it's rumor and speculation. So, there's no need to be getting, upset. I'm just giving the information. It mightn't make sense to you, but there's obviously, it's being talked about. It's a rumor, speculation, so I talk about it. Remember, guys, when I do these streams, and I will be getting more information, I need you all to realise, and it goes for everybody on this side as well, not just the J-bots. Until information starts coming out, you treat this all as rumour and speculation. I don't know how clear I need to be on that. Okay? It mightn't make sense, but it could, in other terms, it could make sense to someone else. Just because it doesn't make sense to you doesn't mean that it's not. There's not a chance that this could be true. It's rumor, speculation. So we'll see what happens anyway with it all. Season 12 didn't make sense, but they still put that out. Yeah, it didn't. And Captain Jack's cameo just looks so bad now. When you think about that was shoehorned in to kind of give some context to the... And to be honest with you, if you take his cameo out, he didn't even need to be in it. It was a desperate attempt to boost ratings. That's what that was. Listen... Desperate times, desperate measures, right? So there are no stray people in Doctor Who anymore, says Mr. CCDV. Well, there's clearly, listen, without being too harsh, there is clearly an agenda. that the other side have denied, right? It's so obvious. And unfortunately, what's happened and what has happened in the industry lately is that people are being picked on what's between their legs and who they shag rather than uh, on talent alone. And it's sad because that's where we've gotten with the entertainment industry. They're more interested in who someone is shagging and what's between their legs instead of actually, concentrating on what they should be doing, which is creating and writing great content for the members of the public who sit at home, who have jobs, who have kids, who have the stress of life, want to be able to turn on the TV and to be entertained. But instead of being entertained, we're being told, oh, well, listen, if you're a white male, if you're a single father or whatever, you're evil. Imagine being a young lad. Look, I feel sorry for some of the young lads today. If you think about it, obviously not the ones that have been indoctrinated, because they're not real guys at all. They're not real men. They won't be real men when they grow up. There would be so many who, Ben, I get what you're saying, mate. I really do. But stranger things have happened. That's all I'm just trying to say. I'm not giving out or anything. I knew this would happen anyway. Everybody, I every time I do news, there's always something out there that someone doesn't agree with, and I get that. At the end of the day, as I said, stranger things have happened. And as I said, it's rumor and speculation, so this could be bullshit. All I'll just say to you, Ben, is it comes from the same source that gave me the Spyfall information. So when that source comes to me and gives me information, their information comes to the forefront because they've had a 90% hit rate with the information that they've given me. So, I take notice when I get information from a certain source. So, as I said, stranger things have happened. I honestly don't know. I'm being honest with you, and everybody knows this. I've never hid the fact. I understand the TV industry to a certain extent, but I wouldn't know as much as maybe yourself or some other people out there. But I do know that in times of, this is unprecedented. Remember, we're going through a global pandemic. The whole face of TV is going. Listen, TV is going to change. The way we know TV now, right now, is going to change. Right? Whether it's for the foreseeable future or it's for a couple of years, this is what's going to happen. Things are going to change. So I don't. As I said, stranger things have happened. You can't rule anything out. And as far as I'm concerned, anything is possible. And, take Moffat out of the picture and you could speculate. True. But I didn't even know, right? Because this is how out of the loop I am. I didn't even know Steven Moffat had a production company, right? Or was part of a production company, right? I don't read all that crap. It was only after I got the information. So I don't know. Again, as I said, it's just one thing. I don't know what to say to you. Well, as I said, Ben, there's nothing else I can really say. that's just where I stand on it. Richard Martin says, does anything surprise us after Dr. Woke and the time this children now? Does anybody care until somebody properly retcons this crap? No, but, you know, listen, when I get news like this, there's not, look at I had a decision to make, right? If, thing about it is, I'm given information, right? Now, so my logic behind it is that I've built up this relationship with this, or multiple sources, let's just say, and it would be remiss of me if I was, because this era is bad, if I didn't continue to take that information, because then when the new showrunner is in place and stuff like that, I could get the chance of getting new information before everybody else. So I'm not willing to let that sort of information just slip through my fingers. So even though, listen, I'm not watching Series 13 myself, I don't care what happens with it. But the news, it'll be the rumor information that I receive. It'll be good to pick holes in it. It'll be good to discuss it and talk about it. And that's all I want to do. Get people's opinions. Listen, talking about the news is especially with those that are still watching. If they hear stuff that's happening they don't like, it might convince them not to turn on because they were already annoyed with Series 12, and this might push them over the edge. And that's what I'm hoping. Either way, Chibnall's era ends after Series 13 if the news that I've received is true. And if he goes, then we already know what's going to happen. And listen, I always believe, I still think personally myself, and I'm going to still say it, you know, there's still a festive special. We do know that a regeneration scene was filmed. So I'm still going to hold out that she goes, even though I haven't been given information on that fact, but I'm still holding out and hoping that she goes after the festive special. But seeing this information that I've gotten now, this would probably cement the fact that she's staying for one more season. So yeah, I think Series 12 has pushed most people over the edge. It has. I mean, you know, I've noticed the change in the fandom, and the attitudes have changed as well. But it's not just the Doctor Who fandom. I've seen it in the Star Trek fandom and the Star Wars fandom. You know, I've even had people say to me, you know, even when I was telling people that I was doing this stream and the video, they said, well, what are you even bothering for? Nobody cares. And I was like, well, okay. I says, but I don't care either, but we can't ignore the fact that it's out there. You can't ignore the fact that there is going to be information, and I think it's good to inform the fandom what's going on. Because, you know, it's the only way. Listen, we need to know everything. We really do. I mean, because we've got to fit. Listen, when Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker go, remember, not only does the new showrunner and stuff have a hard job, right, of trying to get this show back to some sort of, you know, respectability, but he also has to win over the fans. But we also have a job, you know, to let the new showrunner know where the old showrunner went wrong, you know. And that's why I think streams like this are going to be very important, because if any of this information turns out to be true and then we see Series 13 ends up being a complete shit show, we can go and say, well, listen, this is where it went wrong. You know, you need to, you know, that's what fans are there for. And you know what? I really do not understand why certain companies out there that produce these things don't listen to the fans. You don't listen to the fans, you're not going to make revenue. for your off your merchandise. You're not going to get anybody to watch your TV shows or your movies. It's as simple as that. And there needs to be a simple approach by Hollywood and all these other companies. And they need to take a step back and say, yeah, fans are right. Maybe we need to start focusing on entertaining again. You look at Collider, right? Now, I will be doing a separate stream on this, but I just want to bring it up briefly. So Collider has a problem with the fact that Zack Snyder has decided that he's going to release his cut of the Justice League, because apparently it sets it's a danger. It's you know. So basically, what Collider is saying is you shouldn't be giving the fans what they want, even though that's what it's supposed to be about. But I will get into that because it's interesting how the media have went on a bit of a meltdown. The SJW media, as they say, even some other media tropes have said that this has set a dangerous precedent. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. What it's done is it's actually set a positive one. It's actually shown that if fans do kick up a stink and keep it going, then there's every chance that decisions can be made in favor of the fans. This is why I've always believed that this fan, we were getting close. And I will say I do understand why people got pissed off and left and don't want anything to do with it anymore and don't even want to talk about it anymore. But at the end of the day, you know, that's where we've gone wrong. Because, you know, the people behind the hashtag release the Snyder Cut, they didn't give up. They're on the internet every day, they were. And they're still on the internet. Even though now they know it's released now, they're still on fighting the corner. Because now you've got the media coming out saying that this is wrong. So they're fighting the corner. And I believe if we had kept up what we were doing, sending the emails, doing all the other stuff that we were doing, you know, I think we would have got somewhere. I honestly do believe. I know Paul Cornell threw a spanner in the works, but I do believe we could have recovered. But I think that was the knockout blow for a lot of people. But it annoys me. It annoys me because I think we were close. Because we were getting under Chibnall's skin. We were getting under BBC's skin. Jesus Christ, they came out with 4 statements. It proved that the fans were getting under BBC's skins. And then after Paul Cornell, that was it. Everybody just had enough. And it's sad because I do firmly believe if we were still on it, if we were still fighting that fight, I don't think Chris Chibnall could stay. I just think the fan power, and I think the whole Justice League Snyder Cut thing has proved that in the end fans will win. Another thing, just to let you know, it's a little victory, but again, it's another fan victory. I've noticed there seems to be a little turn in the tide now. Netflix, for anybody that's a fan of Back to the Future trilogy and who likes Back to the Future 2, there's a scene in Back to the Future 2 where he goes back to the 50s and he's in the principal's office and he's trying to get the sports almanac. And when he goes to check it, there's actually a dirty magazine in it, or one of those early 50s lingerie or whatever. It was called Ooh La La, right? Netflix edited that scene to take out the cover and not show any right? So people were watching Back to the Future 2 and noticed this and then start getting onto Netflix. Netflix reinstated the original cut then of Back to the Future 2. So again, little victories like that are happening. And I'm starting to see a slight little turn in the tide. It's always important as fans that we keep up the pressure. I can and I do, and I keep saying it, and the reason why I keep saying it is because I want people to know I do understand why. I just think we all made a decision prematurely. I think we should have took a step back for a week or two, let our heads all settle down and get back on it again. Because the Schneider Cut, that hashtag, those fans, you know, and you know, in the early days I was part of it as well, and then it started getting messy with people being attacked all the time and people calling people liars, saying that this cut didn't exist and all this, and it just got all nasty. It just got all nasty. So I didn't really speak about it that much. But in the early days of all of this, I was putting that hashtag up and I wanted this movie. I can't wait for this movie. But it goes to show you, if you hammer on for long enough, ultimately they will listen to the fans, because they've no choice but to listen to the fans. Because at the end of the day, we're the ones that pay their bloody wages. So, entertainment industry, listen up. The time of not listening to the fans, the era of not listening to the fans is over. BBC, take notice. As we have said, it's game over. You cannot ignore the fans any longer. We will not tolerate any more destruction of our TV show. We have had enough. We want you to decanonize Chris Chibnall's era. And I know people will probably be laughing at me on the J-Bot side, laughing at me for saying this, but that's our message to the BBC and to all you little shills out there. We do not accept Chris Chibnall's canon. We do not accept his era. Yeah? And this has nothing got to do with the fact that Jodie Whittaker is the Doctor. That was already a negative anyway, because when you do change the character from male to female, the dynamic between companion and Doctor completely changes, and it throws the whole dynamics of the show off. Saying that apparently 2 years ago was sexist. It's actually logical, you twats. Now that we're finished on the rumor stuff, right? And I hope everybody did actually enjoy this part of the stream. But I just want to touch on something that's been happening in the fandom. And I think Lee already knows what I'm going to be talking about. Now, as I've said before, and as we've always said, what the new fans don't realise is that people have opinions. And people will have different opinions. There's nothing wrong with that. Doesn't make them a racist. Doesn't make them sexist. Doesn't make them any ism or any phobe or whatever you want to throw at us. But I just want to say there's a little ginger snap little asshole out there that decided to pick on one of our friends. Now, this friend happened to be a woman. Now, whether it was a guy or whether it be a guy, they would get the same reaction. The fact that someone had to leave social media for a few, whether it was 24 hours, 48 hours, doesn't matter. They still left the platform because they were bullied by a little runt, little ginger snap baby who cannot take the fact that other people have problems, and then got into this huge conversation with Lee and others, and was actually exposed as a little bigot himself. So listen up, little bully, yeah? Gonna tell you this now. As someone mentioned on Twitter, yeah? Apologize, yeah? Be a man, grow a set of balls, and apologize for your behavior, yeah? If not, all I'll just say to you is this: do not show your face near any of our threads anymore. Now, just gotta say something is people have screenshot all your tweets. So we have everything, right? So doesn't matter that you've blocked us all, we have your tweets, right? Now you apologize or you just go away. All right? Like the rest of the little idiots out there. And I noticed as well, someone brought this up. I noticed some of your pals, none of them came in to actually back you up. Did you see the way we all rallied around their friend? Now that's loyalty there, right? And a young lad like yourself, yeah. Oh yeah, and you mentioned that people were bullying Jodie Whittaker. I will address that actually, right? I'll address that. See, the difference between Jodie Whittaker and Starry Eyed Girl is that Jodie Whittaker is a public figure. Jodie Whittaker is an actress who acts, right? Now, channels like mine, we critique, right? That's our job. We critique. Jodie Whittaker is no different to any other doctor that was criticized in the past. And trust me, there was a lot of doctors in the past that were criticized. Now, you will probably say, but Jodie gets it more. You're right, she does. And I'll tell you why she does. Number one, she's the first female doctor. Number two, the first words out of her mouth was, don't fear my gender. And then she did a video to piss take on the fans. Jordan Series 12 as well, she did the same thing. She had a go at the not my doctor side, which in a way, some of them deserved it, but not the majority of that movement. There's only a small element that are part of that are racist, sexist, and all that phobia that these people throw. Right? They're right to a certain element of fans, just like there's a certain element of their fans that are sick and twisted minded and want Jodie Whittaker's doctor and Yasmin Khan the scissor for what? In a children's, in a family TV show. That is not the time and the place to be doing it, right? If you want the two of them to scissor, well, why not do a version of Single White Female starring Jodie Whittaker as the single white female and Monique Gill as her bloody roommate, and then you can have a reboot of that, and then you can get what you want, right? No place for that in Doctor Who, and that is not any ism or any homophobia or whatever crap you've come out with, right? It's nothing to do with that. It's a family TV show. So anyway, as I said, Jodie Whittaker has not actually helped the situation. So yeah, she will be hammered like every other doctor out there that we have a problem with. Her acting is bad. It's mediocre at best. Yeah, she is way over her head, and that's just the bottom line. She's way over her head. It's so clear to see, right? It's absolutely a joke at this stage that woman got that job, and she only got it because she was friends with the showrunner, right? And the showrunner is out of his depth and is a complete joke as well. So when you've got two complete jokes, right, that are running your show basically, right? One's acting in it and the other one's writing in it. Well, what do you expect? And I'm glad she is okay. And she will underplay it because that's Starry, because that's the way she is, right? But I'll just say to that little ginger snap out there, come anywhere near her threads again, and I'll do a stream on you. And I'm telling you to your face, I don't care who knows. I will do a stream and I'll plaster your face all over the internet. And I'll let people know who the bully is. Bullying women. And I've been accused of obviously bullying women last year, as you all know. And it got a bit nasty because our supporters came on. And she actually provided no evidence whatsoever. Right? We've got plenty of evidence on this shithead. And then apparently he was bragging when she went off. Bragging, celebrating the fact. And then the little crybaby, what did he do? What did he do? Blockety, blockety, block. You blocked me. He blocked Ballstrick. I don't know who else he blocked, but he's at the blocking a lot of people. He couldn't stand by any of these arguments, right? He was even invited on Rabbi's channel to have a discussion. Like the rest of them, they're always all asked on the channels to have a discussion. And do you know what happens? Blockety, blockety, block. Blockety, blockety, block. Because you know why? They're all a bunch of gutless little scumbags, right? That are all insecure, weak-minded little twats that actually, as I said, project their own insecurities on this fandom and the rest of the society. Don't get help. Go and get a hug or get a fucking shag or something, right? But leave the rest of us alone to enjoy our bleeding entertainment. Fucking sick of it. Seriously. Now, see, that's the thing. We don't block anymore. I'm not blocking anybody anymore. I don't care. I'm not blocking them anymore. That's what they want, because then they go then and oh, look, Tardazone blocked me, or oh, look who blocked me. They brag about it. No, so we're not going to block them. Fuck them. Let them little shits block us. Remember, we're not running away from them, right? This is our fandom. And I don't give a shit what anybody says, right? The people can say I'm self-entitled all they want, right? This is my fucking fandom, your fandom, right? These little shits come into our fandom only a few years back, right? And are dictating what goes on in this fandom. Well, no fucking more. It's done, right? Same with that Doctor Who Assemble crap. I'll be doing a stream on that as well. That was absolutely rubbish. And the people behind that should be ashamed of themselves. I mean the writers, not the voice actors, because some of them did try. But it just goes to show you. And I can tell you who wrote this by just looking at the dialogue. This was written by someone in their mid to late 20s, right? Because when you give Jodie Whittaker's doctor the line, okay, boomer, and she becomes a walking meme in this audio, and that's all she was, a talking fucking meme. He attacked her for supporting people like Ballstrick and Gary, and then went on this big mad rant. But seriously, it's over. It's game over for yous now, because we're not having it anymore. We've had enough. You've pushed us around for 2 years. And you know what? We have retaliated. I know I've had my own personal little battles and retaliated to certain people. But I'm just going to let you all know. I see any of yous. Ballstrick said the same, right? You can come after me. Yeah? You can go after Ballstrick, as he said. Right? Gary, the likes of us, we can take it. Right? But if you go after one of our friends, well then, do you know what? All rules go out the window. Yeah? All this mutual respect or whatever goes out the window. You come after one of our friends, then we come down on you like a ton of bricks, and that's the way it's going to be from now on. So be warned. Be warned. Right? And it's funny, isn't it? We get accused of being sexist and all this crap, and we've got women who are fighting side by side with us in the fandom that don't agree with all of this crap that's going on within the show. And we're sexist. So what does that make the ladies in the fandom that don't like this then? Come on. Because I know there's a J-bot listening. Have the balls to come on and actually tell me. So if we're sexist, does that make them sexist? Because you know what? Real women can see what this whole casting was all about, right? And real feminists, and I mean real feminists, are about equality, right? As I said, the whole thing with the watch along, these tweet alongs and all that they've been having have all been designed. Look at the BBC now is just full of agenda, and it doesn't matter what part or what cog, they're all in on it, right? And apparently she can't do a classic, but she put up a snap. Widham's actually let me know. Widham's actually sent me a message to just know that she's doing a snap tweet along, She was able to do that, but she can't do the. And I said, look, I think my point on that has already been proven. They're a bunch of mid-20s to late-20 twats, knew who was their era. They have no respect. And listen, they can actually try. Listen, I seen this person, someone says, well, you're clearly not a fan of Classic Who, and then she showed her Classic Who set. That's like showing how big your dick is, right? I've got a bigger fucking collection. It means nothing what collection you have. All right? You are being called out on your bullshit, and that was your way of responding. Well, I'm sorry, that doesn't wash with me. I have a bigger collection. I know people that have a bigger collection than me. Doesn't matter what the size of your collection is. You were asked a question, and and again, you know, distraction. Can't give a straight answer. Never give a straight answer. There is no reason why there shouldn't be a Classic Who. But of course, if you have been watching mine, we will be continuing. And anybody that's new to the channel, remember every Saturday we're showing, well, we're not showing, we're having a discussion. We're going to be on Twitter, tweeting along, and everybody's going to get their copies out of it's Terror of the Zygons this Saturday. And the hashtag, by the way, is Zygons be Zygons. Or is it Zygon be Zygons? I'm confused now. Lee, it's your hashtag. What is it? So I will have a couple of streams coming up. There is someone in the fandom that I have to actually Matthew Porches is another one that I'll be doing a stream on. He has come out with some interest, but this is what I'm going to do. As I said, I'm going to expose all these YouTubers like I should have been doing when Doctor Who Series 12 finished. And I got distracted. And that's why I said last week, mostly during the week, I'm going to be doing streams on my own. So I might as well, for people that are in here, I said it last week anyway, I'm going to keep the panels to a weekend situation, because during the week, because there's loads of things I actually want to talk about, but because I do streams with other YouTubers, which I love doing, I'm not able to kind of do the streams that I want to do on the stuff that I want to talk about and the information that I've been given. So that's why I decided to push all the streams that I have with panels weekend. So on Friday we have the Blue Book Zone with me, myself and Lee, and hopefully we'll have Jason with us this week. Then on Saturday, then we have the Classic Who watch along, and then on Sunday, then we have the New Who watch along. So for 3 out of the 7 days, I have panels, and then I was just for the other days, then to balance it out, you have streams with me. So that's the way I want to do it, and that's what I said last week, the way I was going to do it. So and I think it's better that way, because most people that I bring on the panels are available the weekend anyway. So weekend seems to be the better option for everybody. So that's fantastic. I thought it was Zygons be Zygons. Why is everybody saying Zygons will be Zygons or Zygons? I thought it was Zygons be Zygons. Zygons be Zygons. That makes
Zygons be Zygons.
Yeah.
Like
Let's
Zygons be Zygons.
Oh, Jay, you.
Like, I can only hear you because you're.
I know, yeah. See, we're supposed to be professional here, and we can't even come up with the right hashtag. Right, we're settling now, and someone needs to let Rabbi know, because wait till you see now. I wonder what Rabbi is going to put as the hashtag. Oh, Jesus. Rabbi, you still awake? If you are, it is let Zygons be Zygon. Oh, let Zygon be Zygons. Oh, geez, that's a mouthful. Right, there you go. That's the hashtag. Well, Rabbi said will obviously I'll have the trailer. He said he texted I think this morning on Twitter to say that he'll have the trailer up soon, and then he'll send it to me, and then I'll throw it up. But do us a favor as well, when the trailer goes up on either my YouTube channel or Rabbi's YouTube channel, do us a favor, share the trailer as well, will you? We want to get as much exposure to these as possible. Like, they're doing well, I have to say, for classic streams. They're doing well. We're building an audience, is what I'm trying to say to you. But let's try get that audience a little bit bigger. You know what I mean? The more the merrier, I say. And you know, the panel is great. We have a great panel, and it does be very very. But I will say this though. Again, I was listening to the last one, and I did veer off a few times myself and others when we were speaking about Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker. Again, I kind of don't want to be harping back to when we're watching these classic watch-alongs. We did kind of go off a bit subject because when I was listening to the stream, I could see Ballstrek very cleverly tried to wind me back in, snap me out of it. So yeah, from now on, when we do the Classic Who watch-alongs, I don't want to be talking about the new era. It's about Classic Who. So let's keep the conversation about Classic Who when we do the Classic Who watch-alongs, because that's why people come into the chat as well. They don't want to be always. I can understand why people are pissed off, you know, because they're coming in, they're watching these streams, right? And then it's supposed to be about Classic Who, and then we'll talk about the 13th Doctor and Chris Chibnall, and I don't think that's right, to be honest. They come here to listen to the classic streams, so I'm going to be strict on myself, because obviously I'm the one that's breaking the rule the most. But I'm going to put my foot down on that one, because I want to keep it the classics. Then we do Sunday, then we can talk New Who, because then we have the New Who watch along as well. So that's the format now, the way I'm doing it now. So the weekends will be the live streams with all my guests, and then during the week I'll be doing my own streams, because there is loads of things that I want to rant and rave about, you know. And sometimes you know yourself, when you do a panel, you know, even though I do, you know, get me opinions across, which I do, everybody does, but I'm not able to say all the things I could say, because obviously I do have guests on. So that's why I've decided to kind of do streams on my own as well. And a few people have actually said that they miss them. So, you know, and I do miss doing them on my own as well. And the weekends do be great having the streams with everybody else. And Daniel will be on again next Sunday, obviously, with us for the New Who watch along. Actually, Daniel, we might as well just make you a permanent panelist on a Sunday if you're up for that, mate. So then I can announce me full panels then, so everybody knows who's going to be on the panel. Yeah, Lee, I would, man. To be honest, I don't even want to be listening. Listen, you've seen me tweets that I put up this morning. I mean, she's saying it was trending, and she says she's glad that so many people were enjoying it. Well, I don't know what cloud she's living on, because when I actually put in Doctor Who Assemble on Twitter, and I actually looked at the comments, most of the comments were given about the 13th Doctor's lines. Obviously, there were some that were actually praising it and actually saying, "Oh, look where she's having a go." But here's the most ironic thing, isn't it? Why would she be saying "Okay, Boomer" when she is in fact the oldest incarnation of the Doctor? See, doesn't make sense. But these are the idiots that write it. They haven't got a clue, you know, and they write Jodie Whittaker in such an annoying way that I hope to God that these people never got their hands on the show, because they have just proven that they have no talent. Now, talking about Doctor Who audio, if you do want to actually listen to a Doctor Who audio, and by the way, I was talking to these guys last night, and we will get them on, but I was told something exciting. I can't say anything, obviously, but if you haven't listened to The Long Game, it's by Black Glove Studios, right? I think they're on YouTube as well, Daniel. Daniel will know, because Daniel knows who I'm talking about. Black Glove Studios. Go and check out their audio. If you want a Doctor Who audio that's written by a fan, but you would think was a Big Finish production, actually done properly with smart dialogue, right? Snappy dialogue as well, then The Long Game is for you. I will promote the crap out of that bloody audio all day. It is brilliant. It is brilliant. Do not be listening to that crap that they're touting now. Doctor Who Assemble was an ambitious project. The problem is it failed miserably. The one good thing I will say is it was for charity and they did reach their goal. So congratulations for that. Some of the voice actors were actually spot on. But a lot of them, the Jodie Whittaker one, I actually read a lot of comments. Oh, the Jodie Whittaker one sounds exactly like Jodie Whittaker. But no, she didn't. What planet are you living on? She sounded nothing like Jodie Whittaker. Pertwee was spot on. Baker was spot on. Even Christopher Eccleston was okay, but I still got to listen to 2 episodes of that. Leland says the final game is brilliant. Stunningly good voice performances, especially the GU doing Pertwee's voice. I agree. It is. And if you haven't listened to it, go and check out. They're on YouTube, I think. It's Black Glove Studios, isn't it? I think it's Black Glove Studios. I think they've put it up there. Is absolutely. I'm not just saying this because of the other one. Listen, we had him on the channel before, and then Ballshack brought him on his channel. We've had discussions with this guy. This guy is very passionate what he does. He believes Doctor Who should be written a certain way. And to me, he understands the characters. And I think that's the big thing for me. He understands the characters and the production values. Listen, this isn't... If you were to listen to this and we didn't tell you, say, listen, here's a Doctor Who audio, right? We had to listen to this. And if we didn't tell you that it wasn't from Big Finish, you'd probably think it was from Big Finish. The production values are that good. Now, I've been told by himself that he has finished his latest script. And he gave me a little bit of a synopsis. And all I will say is, oh my God, holy shit, I can't wait. And I said, keep up the good work and stuff. And I said, keep doing what you do. And he says he wouldn't let me down. Mate, you haven't listen, mate, you could not let me down. Those audios are just perfection. And that's the truth. It's the truth. And as I said, there's only a small amount of audios that I've actually listened to. And one of the audios happens to be yours. So that says a lot. It says a lot. So keep up the good work. And yeah, we support them 110%. You're right. I will support them all day long. Listen, I would go as far as to say is if we can't get that fan film, because of the current situation, this would be this would be a good option, a very good option. Maybe I could throw that an idea to him. I say, here, listen, watch the timeless, watch the story arc that Chibnall done, and can you do an audio to kind of wreck on it? That'd be good. Because I tell you one thing, this guy can actually write. So if I said to him, if I was to go to him, and I'm not, I wouldn't say, yeah, listen, do this, but I'd make the suggestion. But I'd say, listen, time this children's story arc, the brain of Morbius, but they're saying that it's the doctors now. We don't like it. We want this era retconned. Can you do an audio that retcons the whole lot of this era? I can guarantee he'd come back with something sensational. That's what I believe. Yeah, Paul Streck, he only streamed. Yeah, he streamed with me and him only a few, not that long ago as well. Actually, he did another one. And the channel appears to be Serene Studios as River, not the number. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, the Black Glove Studios is the name of the whole thing they have on Twitter. So yeah, if that's the name of it, well then but check them out. Check them out. I'm telling you now, if you listen to that audio tonight and listen, they are long because he's trying to tell a whole story. So you mightn't get through all the parts tonight, obviously. But watch a part a day even, or listen to a part a day if you're going for a walk or whatever. It is well. Actually, you know what? We'll get him on next week at some stage, right? To discuss the long game for you. Because yeah. Well, Lee, get in contact with him, man, because he does. He's very open to. He's very open to suggestions and other and stuff like that. So why not? Actually, I was going to come to you myself and actually have a little word. I would wanted to see if you could do something for me, but we'll talk a little bit later on about that. But I have a few things in mind. I'm not good, or maybe give me a bit of advice on where I can go, and I can even try do stuff myself. Yeah. Sure, I can now. Yeah, grand. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it a little bit later on because me and you will probably be on Twitter, so we'll bump into each other at some stage, and I'll send you a message when I'm done having something to eat and all. Let me see. Yeah, so Serene Studios. That's yeah. But they're known, yeah. It's weird because Black Glove Studios as well is it's the same thing. But there you go. I think that's what they are. I'll put a Leland's message there up on the screen there. So search them there. Have a list. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Right? And I don't really suggest many things on this channel, as you know. It's very rare that I'll basically say go. I'll YouTubers, yes. If I have a YouTuber that I've checked out and I like them, I'll do stuff like the same thing. But it's been a while since I've done something like this. So yeah, I'll go and support these guys. And I will be doing a review of. See, this is what I mean. I have loads of streams to do. I have to do a review because I've listened to it. Unfortunately, I listened to it. Doctor Who Assemble. I just seen all the comments, and then actually I'm gonna blame Dan from the Space Book. It's his fault, because I think he put it on Type 40, and I was in Type 40, and I seen it, and I just pressed play, and then before you know it, I was listening to it. So Dan, it's your fault, mate. So now I have to do a bloody review because it's so cringy. And by the way, Tom Baker's dialogue kept annoying me because he kept repeating the same line over and over and over again. I'd say to the people that wrote it, listen, stick to your day job, which is writing stupid little articles for Doctor Who magazine or whatever it is, and actually leave the writing to the experts. Oh, sorry, yeah, we've seen how that's worked out. Leave the writing to the fans that actually understand the character. As I said, the channel is Serene Studios, but Black Glove Studios also brought them up. There you go. Well, no, the guy, I think they're both, there's something that it was explained to me because I was talking to the guy behind it, Chris, because he's a friend of Ballstrex as well. So I've spoken to Chris on several occasions. He explained it to me. Andre, you know me. I get it goes in one ear and then like it doesn't process properly in the brain, and then before you know it, then I get. But I take it, John. Yeah, he was involved. The voices that he did were spot on. It was the other planks that they got, Colin. It was the other planks that they got. But the main issue I have is the writing. The writing was bad, really bad. I mean, I haven't written that in years, and I could even write something better than that. And I'm not a sci-fi writer, by the way. I used to write like well, murder mystery, if that's the way you want to put it. Serial killer type of stuff. That was the type of stuff I used to write, and it was very graphic. But even I could write something better than that. It's just the dialogue was stupid. As I said, Jodie Whittaker, she was a talking meme. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing because it goes to show you the way these people think. And if you actually listen to it, you this is the funny thing. You could understand who that person is. By their writing, you could actually identify character traits of that person. Nobody in real life goes around and says, "Okay, boomer," right? That's an internet thing that you see on the internet. Nobody goes around. I've never heard someone in real life go around and say, "Okay, boomer." Doesn't happen, right? But this is the way they wrote her. Now, even the J-bots had a problem with that. Some did. Actually, the majority of them did, and some that are very, very militant actually thought it was funny that she was putting other doctors in their place. But she actually wasn't putting other doctors in their place because even the dialogue was that weak that you were just it was bad. Listen, it wasn't just her dialogue. As I said, Tom Baker's dialogue, he was repeating the same fucking sentence over and over again for the first few. Oh my God, it was seriously. And whoever thought the artwork was great or it was a good idea to present it in that way as well, I just don't get it. It seemed to be like apparently this was worked on for months. I doubt that highly. This was worked on over a couple of days, because if this is months of work, well then, again, as I said, I don't even think they should be writing for anybody because it's that bad. And as I said, the one good thing about it is obviously it raised the money that it needed to raise for the NHS or whatever it was for, which is great. But on the writing, like everything else, it gets critiqued. Everybody held back, obviously, until the money was raised. Now that the money is raised and it's out there, the public now can dismantle it. And trust me, it has been. But I have noticed one thing. So I went on to the YouTube channel to have a look at the comment section there. I was actually very surprised. So either they're only allowing all the positive comments, or nobody that had a problem with it actually went onto YouTube to comment, because all the comments on YouTube are actually positive, except when you come to mine. Yeah, I did. I went up on YouTube and I don't give a crap, and I rolled up and I basically called it a pile of shit, because that's what it is. Gloves are off. I don't care. you know, it was a pile of crap, and that's what it was. And I'm not going to hide behind it. Listen, if I wrote that and people came out and said it was a pile of crap, I'd take it on the chin. I'd be hurt, but if people said it was a pile of crap, well then, you know, public, you know, they're not always wrong. They're not always right either, but the majority of the time, they are right. They know what they're talking about. So, and he's got something on his forehead.
No one knows what you're talking about.
All right, they're playing some
It's
game.
so weird when you do that.
Yeah, I just wanted to look because it was. Did you know that you won, Stuart? Sorry, Colin, could you rewrite that message? Because I don't know what you're actually oh, John's in the chat. Yeah, John, I hope everything is all right now, pal. We'll get you on a panel again sometime soon as well, actually. Because you had to leave the last time we had you on, if I remember. Yeah, so I hope everything is good now, and yeah. Did you know that you are on? Oh, am I? Am I still on the page? See, I listen. I don't spend most of my time on Facebook. I do know I was on the one on Twitter. Our problem being's gone to bed because he was up fighting the good fight all night, and I don't think the lunatic has gone to bed. So Lee, get yourself to bed. Good night, mate. Talk to you soon anyway. Right, I'll drop you a message tomorrow then. Right, you just go and get some sleep and we'll have a chat. Yeah, actually, I think So if I'm still following the pages on Facebook, because you know, on Facebook and Twitter, I'll share them for everybody. So they're on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. But check them out. Thanks, Colin, for reminding me. Actually, see, I follow so many bloody fan pages as well, because there's other people out there that I follow as well that do stuff. Also, what was that? What was it? It was someone else. There was someone else. It'll come to me. He says he's sorted now, mate. Back to normal. Glad to hear it. And I don't. The proposed rumors for the series. It looks like it's going to be more diverse and woke. Yeah, could be. It looks like it anyway. I mean, if the new companion is rumored to be true, then yeah. Again, these people say there's no agenda. It's there for everybody to see. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to see that there's an agenda. So every time they say there is an agenda, just laugh in their faces. Simple as that. Just laugh at them. There's clearly an agenda. They don't care. Yeah, they're on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, Colin. Sorry, I should have mentioned that they were on those things as well. Because yeah, the more people, and listen, go and support them, guys, right? Go and support them because they're well worth supporting. You know, it's an audio that will look at. Listen, I sat here one night when I remember, right? Because here's something that you don't know, right? And it's not a secret, right? But because he said it when he was on the stream. But the likes of myself, Paul Streck, and a couple of other YouTubers will get the audio before everybody else. So we'll get the next part before everybody else does. So he sends it to us and we all listen. So I'm being honest with you. I sat here one when I got the first part off him, the first ever part off him, and I was sitting on the sofa here, and Cheryl, I think, had went to bed, and I was lying on the sofa there, and I just switched on the first. I had the earphones in, and I tell you, I remember writing to him saying, "When's the second part coming out? When's the second part?" Then the second part came out, then the third. It's very good. I haven't watched Stargirl, so Stargirl is actually out now, is it? Do you know what? Those CW shows look awful, though, don't they? I mean, they look really bad. Um, why don't they just, instead of doing loads of different shows like that, produce, say, one decent bloody show and put all the money into that and actually give us something that we can actually get beyond. Do you know what I'd say? Cancel all your Supergirls and all that, and you have bought the rights to show Swamp Thing. Why not actually buy the rights to Arbor, whatever you need to do to actually commission a second series and actually do it and set it up in the tone that you did in the first. And I guarantee CW will become less of a joke. I think CW could have a perfect opportunity here, but they won't get rid of all the other Mickey Mouse shows that they do, which is sad. So we'll see. I don't know. We might have to check out Stargirl. I remember checking the first episode of Supergirl out. Yeah. Nah, CW shouldn't be making shows like that. Listen, Swamp Thing, as I said, I tried to get people to watch it. I actually did a stream on Swamp Thing. And then when I was basically, I set up the Irish Geek, I took a lot of those streams down. I didn't put them on the Irish Geek, it was a stupid bloody thing. But I did do a thing on Swamp Thing. I loved it, personally. Now, I heard there was a character change, but because I'd never seen the comic or anything, knew about Swamp Thing, but I never really was into it. I just wanted to see what this TV show was all about. And listen, from the very first episode that I watched, I was hooked. It kind of had a horror element to it, and it's very gory. They don't hold back on the effects either. And I mean, these aren't stupid effects. These effects really work well. There's a bit of voodoo going on in it. There's each character in it. There's something about them. They have a story sort of thing. Listen, for me, it was well put together. And it was such a shame when I found that they actually cut the episodes firstly in the first season, and then it turned out that I wasn't actually getting a second series. And apparently the reason for this is because the executives, and it's always the executives, weren't happy. They didn't want Swamp Thing to be the way it turned out. They actually made the reference, believe it or not, that they wanted it to be like a CW show. Now, it is interesting that now Swamp Thing has been bought up. The first serious rights have been, when the executives were actually saying, well, they wanted it to be kind of like a CW show. So basically, cheap effects, shit actors and actresses in this show. Whereas in the show that we got some great actors and actresses, and we got storylines that were actually very good. And trust me, some of the moments in it are actually quite good. You get I wasn't expecting some of the moments in it. Now, if you're one of these people, and I will say this, if you're one of these people that are totally militant that they shouldn't change a character for anything, even if it benefits the show, well, then you're not going to like it, because apparently there is a character in it that's different. As I said, I haven't read the comics or watched the cartoon. I think there was a cartoon. So, I mean, I'm not privy to all of that. But when I watched the show, I obviously didn't have that going in. And I just watched it as the show that it was. And it was highly enjoyable. So for me, I would recommend Swamp Thing. If you haven't seen it, I would actually go and check it out. It's worth watching. And again, that's it really now. I think we've kind of covered everything. So as I said, all the news that I gave you, all the information, remember, it is only rumor and speculation until obviously, as they say, until obviously, you know, we start getting the information coming from Chibnall, which does be very slim, to be honest with you. But I will add this: people out there talking about the filming schedule and trying to say that they know what they're talking about, they haven't got a clue, because even the British government don't have a clue what they're doing. And these TV companies will also have to wait until the government gives them the AOK to start doing. Now, there is talks, as I said, that they're all EastEnders and all those other shows, that they might resume filming in June, and they'll all have to do their own makeup and stuff like that. But it remains to be seen if they actually will, because how do you do a show, especially a drama or a soap like Coronation Street or EastEnders, if you have to social distance? It's not going to work. So anybody out there that has been talking about the scheduling and saying that it's still on for September, well, they're being disingenuous. You cannot actually say that, because nobody right now knows. It's all up in the air. They have given a date that they think they might be able to come back and film, but that's not the case. Now, Doctor Who's filming, obviously September was already slated, but we're already in the end of May. We're coming up to June, right? They're talking about bringing the Premier League back at the end of June. That's not going to happen. Listen, I think people don't realize, right? There was a first wave. There is going to be a second wave. This is the thing. I think people think because we were all locked down and social distancing that there's not going to be a second wave. No, the politicians and the health experts have said it from day one anyway. There are always going to be a second wave. There always is a second wave. And if people react too soon, well, there definitely will be a lot worse than what it should be. And that's the point. That was the point of the lockdown. And I think a lot of people actually forgot that's what it was. It was to ease the pressure off the hospitals, because there is going to be a second wave. So nobody could say when filming's going to happen. BBC have put a date out there. Right now, they haven't said whether that is going to stay that way. So we will have to wait and see what they actually say themselves. As I said, I just received this information. But if you were to think about this logically, there is no way that they can be filming by September when this is still going on. It'll be impossible, almost impossible, to be honest with you. Because think about it, camera crews, right? You've got then all to transport all the equipment, right? Also, as well, if they had plans to film abroad, what are going to be the restrictions flying into other countries? Will the cast and crew have to self-isolate for 14 days, like they're asking people to do in the UK? Will they do that in other countries? Will they film in a neutral country that doesn't have corona, like, for example, New Zealand? And would New Zealand let them in? I'm just throwing out different scenarios out there as well. I'm just saying it's impossible for anybody to say that this series is going to start filming in September. I would say it's highly unlikely. And remember, we will get the second wave at the same time, and John Steed is absolutely right during the flu and cold season. Now, I will say over in the UK, there's a couple of people over there that are making an ass of themselves and breaking social distancing rules. And then you have people like us saying, well, why is it one rule for them and a different rule for us? It's not. It's just they're all a bunch of gobshites and selfish bastards, right? And in fairness, anybody does that, they should, right now, in the situation that we're in, there should be some sort of punishment. I'm sorry, right? At the end of the day, I want to live. Yeah? And I'll do whatever it takes to live. Right? So if you're going to be a selfish dick and break social distancing rules because you think the law doesn't apply to you or the rules don't apply to you, well then, I'm sorry. You know, you deserve everything you get. And what's happened in England with your man, Dominic Cummings, he deserves it. I'm sorry, deserves it. He's an idiot. His statement made bleeding Prince Andrews actually look sane. Absolutely ridiculous. And this is why, but this is what fuels the other side that say that this is all a hoax. Because you have idiots like him that think they're above the law, doing what they want, right? And that's the danger. Hopefully by the time they film Doctor Who, Jodie and Chibnall's contract has run out. No, they will finish. They will finish what they started. I want to make that clear. They will finish what they started. Obviously, if we get the second wave and this goes on for a few years, then John, yes, you do have a point. But they are determined either way to get this done. And as I said, one of the suggestions is that they do a kind of a point of view episode with Jodie Whittaker, Captain Jack, and Yasmin Khan. So that'd be 3 episodes. That'd be half of the series done with just episodes with them on their own because of the social distancing thing, right? Then you'd have to then work your way around the other 3 episodes and try to think of something to come up with. It's going to be awkward. It's going to be awkward. That's all I'm going to say. But it's not. Listen, this rumor, this one is not. This one, to me, there is every possibility that this one could be spot on because I just don't see how they can film in September. Listen, it's different in other countries. In America, you know, and some of the YouTubers that are speaking about the scheduling are from America. Listen, it's different in America. You might be opening up in America, opening your whole country up and going back to normal. But in Europe, there's a cautious approach. Even though England is kind of cocking it up a bit, they're still, you know, they're still cautious. They're not as cautious as we are over here in Ireland. Well, I mean, we've got our shit together here. But it's not, they're not going to be filming in September. I'll be surprised, highly shocked if they do. I just don't see it with all these new rules in place. And these rules don't go away because they've eased the lockdown. We still have the social distance. You know, we still have to do our bit. So I just don't see how they can move equipment and all around, you know, set up, have directors there, producers there, supporting cast, you know, the main cast, you know, and try to social distance them all. Think about it. And I only put this out there because I don't want this to happen. But if one of those in the cast or the crew were to get corona, right? Well, then you're putting the rest of their lives in danger. And I don't think it's worth filming Series 13 of Doctor Who under the circumstances that we're at, because I don't want any of them to get sick or to be out of action. That would be absolutely horrible. So again, I'd be cautious. Listen, if I was running the BBC now, there'd be no Doctor Who being filmed right now. There'd be none. I'd be telling Chris Chibnall, listen, halt production, halt whatever you've done. If you're doing your writing, grand, get the writers to write the stories at home, but nothing else is being done yet. That's where I stand. But again, you're in a studio, you're in an enclosed studio, one person sneezes. It's not worth the risk. I agree, Colin. I don't think it is worth it. But Chris Chibnall will want to give her last season, and he'll also want, because he's ego. But I agree with you. Right now, I don't think we should be talking about filming Doctor Who. I don't even think it should be on the radar right now. Chris Chibnall has said that they're in the process of writing stories and stuff like that. So they've already started writing. So we'll see. You smoking, that sounded like a lighter. Colin, unfortunately, I do have that bit of a bad habit. Yes. Couldn't they wear masks? Yeah, well, they could, and they could tie it into the show, Crystal. I mean, they could if they were really clever. But again, listen, for me, look at no matter how much I dislike Jodie Whittaker and the current cast, right? I wouldn't wish any harm on any of them, including Chris Chibnall. So I don't think it's worth taking the risk, to be honest with you. It's not worth putting anybody's life at risk. So this is what Ben has said, and Ben seems to know a bit more than I do anyway, and I'll freely admit that, Ben. The industry is a long way from conventional shooting. The industry is working with the government to hammer out guidelines. Exactly. And how long is that going to take? Do you know what I mean? And believe me, listen, they won't take any chances. They won't take any chances. So, bloody hell, I was right. How's that for hearing? Well, it sounds like you've got great bleeding hearing, all right, because I could hardly hear that clicking on right beside it. They could do animated TV show. Ooh. Now that they could get, now that is a way around this. But they won't do it. They won't do it. They won't do it. Think about it. The animation would take too long, for starters. Obviously, they'd be doing the animation from scratch. They'd have to design all the backgrounds themselves. Then they would have to schedule each actor and actress to come in and do their voice parts for the whole series. I think it's John, on paper, it's a great idea, but the reality is, I'd say it'd be too much. It'd be more hassle. I'm not saying Chibnall's putting lives in jeopardy, and Daniel, we can't really say that because we don't know whether they're going to film or not. But to be honest, everybody did give dates. I mean, the producer of EastEnders, Coronation Street, they all did. Even the English Premier League did. And obviously they didn't know it was going to go the way it is. So they will revise them. Them months were just thrown out there as basically, well, this is when we hope to be up and running by. It wasn't, and people as well, again, September is when he hoped. It wasn't guaranteed that they were going to be filming in September. It was always a hope. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Either way, it's going to be very fascinating these next couple of months to see what they do and see what kind of plan they actually come up with. And still, let's be honest, there might be a possibility that John is right and they could scrap it all. I don't see them doing the animation though, John, to be quite honest with you. I just think it'd be too much work for them. And I think it'd be more hassle than it's worth. No, I'm not giving out. I just want to make that clear though. Chris Chibnall is not the one putting lives in. Everybody gave a month each soap and each program. They obviously all gave a date when they hoped to be back filming, but it was never set in concrete. So they will revise. They will listen. They're taking their advice off the medical experts, right? So if the medical experts tell them it's okay, it's okay. And I can guarantee you now, if you were to ask a medical expert, they will tell you it's impossible to do any sort of filming right now, especially on a show like Doctor Who. It's just not going to happen. As the guidelines stand now, they imply that to make productions work, scripts may need to be rewritten so that there are less actors per scene, etc. Yeah. And at the same time, Ben, though, right? And you'll probably agree with me on this, but at the same time, they have to try social distance while they're in the scene as well. It's, it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm just laughing because I think it's all ridiculous. I don't know how people think they can be filming. They're not going to be filming. It's as simple as that. I think Jodie Whittaker smokes. Yeah. She probably does. I know. Everybody keeps telling me about smoking for years, but listen, I've been sick for years and I've never had. I've been all right so far. Listen, right now, you just can't take that away from me, man. If you take that away from me in this situation, no, it's not gonna. No. The guidelines aren't going to be practical for another few months at least. Exactly. So we're in the end of May, so that'll be June, say July, and then I say by August they'll review it again. Listen, it's not happening. It's not happening. Now whether Chris Chibnall, I know Chris Chibnall want to finish what he started. Now, whether BBC then decide, well, it's been enough, let's just cut our losses now and then wait when it's time to go and do their stuff again. But I don't know. There's so many if, buts, and maybes right now. But as I said, I wouldn't be telling people that filming's going to start in September. It's more than likely it's not going to happen. And as Ben has said, and Ben understanding the UK and how the UK industry works, I would agree with him 100%. So, just bear in mind, when you're listening to other people out there that are telling you when Doctor Who's supposed to be filmed, to take all these factors into account when listening to that person. Because it's different everywhere in every other country, especially in America as well. And you can see it. Every country is dealing with this crisis in a different way. So you can't be really saying what's going to be happening in the British TV industry when you're not familiar with the ins and outs. And Jesus, I have Sky News on every day anyway, so trust me, I'm up to date on all the latest. And then I go and check out the non-propaganda stations as well, and internet news. So I'm up to date on what's going on in the UK. There's just too many. There's still the cases in the UK are still rising. Right, there's still people dying of COVID in UK. So there's no way they're filming. So might as well, just before we leave, just end the stream with, hold on, no, don't do that. Hold on, no. Right, you probably heard me repeating myself there. Sorry about that. We've got the echoes. Turn that off and pause. Oh no, play. Stupid ads. Stop. Right. So, for anybody that has been late to the party, I'm going to leave you with this. And as you can see, scrolling across the screen, as I have stated, and I just want to be very clear on that. Okay, there we go. We have it. No, that's... Why am I putting that one up? No, that's the one I put up. Sorry, YouTube is acting ridiculous again. So I tried to put this up, but it decided to put me live stream up for some weird reason instead. So I'll leave you with this. Well, me nanny lived. I know a woman that lived to 100, and she smoked all her life. So, it depends on the person. People can smoke and be healthy, believe it or not. Others then, obviously not. Don't know about the specials now, to be honest with you. I know RTD did them, but I don't think I'd like to wait every bank holiday for a special, man. Just throw out this 6 episodes, one after the other, over a 6-week period, and just get it done. Leland, Yaz has never been a full-time companion, too busy working as a garden fence. Oh, that's in reference to her being a plank, because she is. Yeah. So there you go. That's it. And as I said, this is rumor and is to be treated as such until we get more information, and then it starts to come actually out of Chris Chibnall's mouth himself. And again, I will say there'll be a lot of J-bots out there, and there'll be a lot of people on the other side that do articles and stuff that will dismiss this information straight away and call me a liar. Again, I will say to you people, I have stressed that this is rumor and information that I have received, but you people can't talk because the people that are behind the show don't even give you information anymore. You aren't privy as the used to be. So yeah. So again, there'll be people out there that will say that I'm lying, as I said, and I will leave with this disclaimer. It is rumor and information that I have received and should be treated as such. So quick recap, John Barrowman is to feature more than fans expect. He's going to become a companion if rumors are to be true. There'll be a male companion from the 1920s. He will be, represent the LGBTQ plus community. He will be a gay character. There will be an older woman also on the TARDIS. The big news, though, for the shippers is, and I'm sorry to break your little hearts, if the information is true, there will be no romance between the Doctor and Yasmin, as Yasmin will become a part-time companion. Also, rumored is in 2023, Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker will bow out of Doctor Who to be replaced by, obviously, a new showrunner, Doctor to be yet announced. Also, there might be a format change, as we have spoken about, because of the current pandemic. But again, we will wait on that one. But what else am I forgetting? Was there something else? Something else I'm forgetting. What was the other one? Oh yeah, and Stephen Moffat's. And this one, again, I will say I don't know much about the TV industry. Ben has made a few points which I will take on board, but again, I don't know much about the TV industry. But as I did say to Ben, and stranger things have happened, and we'll see. But apparently, Heartwood Productions, Stephen Moffat, apparently, according to Ben, is a board member or something like that. They want to co-produce the 60th, I think it is. I think that's the 60th. And that was, we did speak about that because we were told that, because remember I did a stream and I told you, what would you think if RTD and Stephen Moffat were to come back and write the 60th? Again, kind of ties in with that information from a few weeks back when we did that stream. So, when I told, this is what I've been told. So again, as I said, it's up to you to take it which way you want to. No, you're grand, Ben. I really appreciate that. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I throw that out there, and if you can, not pick holes, but if you can find something and you can give me an explanation as to why it won't happen, then that's fine. That's great. That's what it's all about. But again, we in the situation that we're in, let's be honest, Ben. I think we could throw all logic out the window right now. Let's be honest. None of us know. I just receive information and I put it out there anyway. But none of us really know until we see it in front of our eyes, I suppose. What else was there? Yeah, John Barrowman. I brought him up, didn't I? Yeah, so a larger role. And let's not forget that that Captain Jack who we all love and adore, is also a member of the LGBTQ plus community. So think about it. Series 12, he gave us 2 female doctors, right? And he made sure that there was representation for black people, with Joe Martin's casting after Lenny Henry had said that BBC would hire a dog before they hire a black person. And I think Chris Chibnall probably took that to heart, and that's why we got Joe, Ruth's doctor. And now he's doing it again. He's doubling down. So not only are we getting Captain Jack, he's decided, well, not what. And you know what? Kind of makes sense. Think about it. Captain Jack, a man from the 1920s. They think we don't know what they're doing. So, they know what they're doing. See what I mean? They know exactly what they're doing. It's and this shows you, though, that Chris Chibnall is not going to stop doing what he's doing when it comes to this agenda. He's going to continue no matter what, because right now he knows that nobody can stop him, because he's probably got it into his head he is going after 2023, and he's just going to do, and he said it, and even Matt Stevens said it, look, it's not democracy, and when they're there, they have their own vision for the show, right? We were told to wear faces, right? So we're basically told, shut up or leave, basically. We're doing it our way. We don't care which way you think it should be done. We'll do it the way that we want to do it. Maybe it's a younger Captain Jack as well. I don't think that would actually work out, to be quite honest with you. I reckon this Captain Jack that we saw is the one that's coming back, because he did say at the end of his little cameo, and it was hinted that he was coming back. Now we kind of know, or I don't know if it's been actually confirmed. Has it been confirmed that Captain Jack is actually coming back for the festive special, or is it just like everything else? But it would make sense for him to come back, so I can understand why he would feature. Because think about it, RTD brought him in with Rose and Yoke. So again, Chibnall has a habit of copying. And Captain Jack, let's be honest, is good in the TARDIS. And whether you like it or not, the banter between him and Jodie's doctor is going to be, because you could already see the excitement in his face when he was told the doctor was a woman. So they'll definitely ham that up to bits. So it'll probably be over cringe, to be honest. Well, they're commissioned, so they'll be fine. They've got money in place now. Whether they can satisfy those people or not, John, I don't know. But right now, they're financially okay because they've signed all those deals. I think people forget about that they actually did sign some deals. So even though you are saying it won't last past 2023, well, unfortunately, it's being commissioned up until then. So it's no way it's going anywhere. They will flog a dead horse. Trust me. They still have to put something out to satisfy. Perhaps the new companion will be a Yanto replacement. See, I was thinking that last night, and then maybe then after he quits Series 13, then we get Torchwood back and he becomes Captain Jack's new sidekick in Torchwood. They did, Ben. 100% agree with you there. It wasn't. I even said at the time there was something about that cameo that didn't sit with me. It seemed a bit forced as well, which is sad because we like Jack, especially in this house. We love John Barrowman. So when we found out he was in it, I have to say all the fans were excited last year when we found out he was going to be in it. It was the only thing that we were excited for. I was just so disappointed that it was you could see it was filmed later, and you could see that it was basically shoehorned in, edited in, and it was very bad. Right, listen, I'm gonna go, folks. We're over 2 hours 15 minutes, so we'll be back this week anyway. As I said, we'll have a few streams to do. I hope you have enjoyed this stream. As I said, all this information that I've given you is all obviously rumor and information that I have received. But I will leave with this though. If this stream or the video happens to go down, i.e. it's removed by YouTube, which will tell you, by the way, it tells you whether I remove it or YouTube removes. That's why I can't believe people actually accused me of lying the last time, because it clearly showed YouTube took it down. If this stream happens to be taken down and the other little video that I put up happens to be taken down, well, then you can take it as fact that I got something in that video spot on, right? Because they only take down videos if I've gotten something. So if the videos do, because it happened to me the last time, I'm just letting you know to keep an eye. I'll be keeping an eye on the channel myself. But if any of these the video or the stream gets taken down, you know the reason why, and then you can take whatever I said, something in that information that I have given you is right. It doesn't all have to be right, remember, for them to take down a video. I could get one piece of information right. They see that, take the video down. So I'm actually taking a risk because it is on the target zone. I've already got one strike. So if I get another one, that's it. I'm done on this channel for 2 weeks, because then it's a 2-week ban, I think. And then I'll be back on the Irish Geek for 2 weeks. So it'll be a longer ban. So, as I said, just keep an eye on my channel. And some of you do anyway, because some of you are quick enough to send me a no, there's something wrong with your videos or comments are not going through. So thank you guys that do look out for the channel. Let me know if it does, but hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it goes under the radar, because some of the information I gave out did go under the radar last year, which was great. But I don't care really at this stage, to be honest with you. At the end of the day, you have a right to know. I mean, Chris Chibnall's tight-lipped. Most showrunners be out giving information. Even Moffat kept some things guarded, and there was huge leaks during Moffat's era, and it did annoy him. But he was still open. He was still willing to do interviews and tell people and shout about he's serious and give as much information without giving major spoilers away. Or sometimes you couldn't resist giving one spoiler, but that's Moffat for you. But with Chris Chibnall's paranoia, man, it's like a prison. No information, nothing's getting out, nothing. You get the people that are leaking information, right? The sources all last year, they're doing it because they're peed off. Right. Good night. Have a good one. As I said, I hope you enjoyed the stream. Do me a favor, share it all over the place. Share the other little video as well. Share both if you can for me. The more exposure it gets, the better, as they say. And I will talk to you really, really soon. Have a good one. Thank you to all me moderators and to everybody in the chat that contributed. Thank you. Really appreciate it. And yeah, I will see you soon. Good night.